2 days ago. Why no one wants to join the war? I guess we can watch that on the side, yeah. I need really
Israeli
energy.
war against Iran, Donald Trump has at various times sought help from allies and even non-allies. For example, Trump sought to use British military bases in the region and has called for European and Asian allies to help the US reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
I don't understand how the biggest navy in human history has trouble with this. Like, you on us all day, you hate all of us, and then you already need help in week number 2, and all these Iranians kind of do is use 5 ships and a bunch of rockets? 2000. I have a diesel Jeep Gladiator. $6.50 a gallon is what it is.
A vital oil shipping channel that has effectively closed,
right
sending energy prices skyrocketing. However, Trump's calls for help...
Imagine being invested in oil, like oil stocks. Like Lisa's dad is, and he was very happy. He was like, ha ha, Tommy. Shickle, shickle. The USN struggles for years to build new ships which aren't carriers. Zumwalt destroyers cancelled after a few units, too expensive. Littoral combat ships like corvettes cancelled, shitty ship. New frigate, yeah, but compared to someone like Iran, your navy must be crushing, right?
Have been met with ambivalence and outright rejection.
I need to really build
despite
energy,
suffering
man.
Iranian drone and missile attacks.
How much
even
unemployment?
America's Gulf
25%. I need to lower
allies,
that.
like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE, have so far avoided joining the American campaign. So in this video, we're going to take a look at Trump's seemingly increasingly desperate appeals for international assistance, and why no one seems to want to join his war.
I mean, after the last 25 years, I think no one wants dumb, shitty wars. We all know it's all about the military-industrial complex. They gotta make the money. They have to become trillionaires, right? It's all about that. But I think most people kind of get that now and are kind of like, oh, yeah. Watch the Iranian movie, There's No Evil. I will not.
Xi was ranked second in our list of the world's most influential people. So, in the latest issue of our magazine, Too Long, we discuss how he got so high on the list, and how China's hard power is now accompanied by a newfound and significant soft power. That's just one of 72 pages in the magazine, because as always, there's more to Too Long than you'd expect. Purchase your copy by clicking the link in the description. In case you need a reminder, the Strait of Hormuz is a narrow waterway connecting the Persian Gulf to the wider Indian Ocean. In normal times, around a fifth of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas passes through the strait, making it a vital
Why did God give the
maritime
Muslims all
energy
the oil and
chokepoint.
gas, man?
Iran has effectively shut the Strait of Hormuz, with strikes, threats, and reports of mines since the war began in late February, sending energy prices skyrocketing. On the
What does like an oil ETF look like? What's like an oil ETF? I don't know one. Here, crude oil, Wisdom Tree WTI. That's like an oil ETF. It's not doing that well. Well, it's doing well, I guess. It's actually doing really well. If you invest in oil, you're doing great, man. You're having a good time right now. And dude, Mr. Conspiracy, no way in hell Trump and his friends didn't know and make money on the side. No way in hell, right? They're not fucking making money on this. Guaranteed.
14th of March, Trump, whilst claiming that Iran's military capability had been 100% destroyed, called on China, France, Japan, South Korea, the UK and others to send ships to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz. A day later, Trump appealed to NATO allies, arguing that it's only appropriate that people who are the beneficiaries of the strait will help to make sure that nothing bad happens there.
But I mean, you triggered this whole thing,
adding,
guys.
if there's-
It's like kindergarten. You hit the bigger kid or some shit. Help! 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 I hit the kid. What the fuck? This fucking hard.
There's no response, or if it's a negative response,
There was crazy trade volume before Trump even announced it. 5 minutes before Trump's announcement. 1.5. If that is fucking true, that is the biggest crime. These guys are the biggest criminals,
Hasn't been
and they
here
should
for 3
burn,
years.
man. Burn.
No GF. Came back. Hope
Adam,
you
I'm
are
here for
doing
you,
well.
man. 1.5 billion notional worth of S&P 500 futures are bought in a single clip. 200 million notional of oil futures have been sold, more than 4 to 6 times in any other trade size during the market close. Insiders massively profited from this war. I mean, clearly, 100% the government is letting free trade agreement for Armenia, sure. 100% they're letting in their friends on this stuff, right? I mean, guaranteed.
it will be very bad for the future of NATO. But Trump did not
But
get
no one cares. No one does anything. Nothing matters. They can do whatever they want. They know we're not going to do shit.
the response he wanted, and publicly aired his frustration, saying,
I just lost
"We don't need
another
any help, actually."
33%
On
energy out of
Thursday, though,
nowhere.
France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the Netherlands, and the UK put out a joint statement expressing their readiness to contribute to appropriate efforts to ensure safe passage through the strait, commitment of nations who are engaging in preparatory planning. This might sound positive for Trump, but there's not actually much substance to the statement. It does not mention and is vague and non-committal regarding the appropriate efforts they could contribute to.
Looks like old Tommy.
Further statements also downplay
This is so you, Tommy. Really good.
Played the chances of any forthcoming deployment.
Dude, the depth autofocus.
Source said the situation
I might have to do that.
Was currently
barely making money. Look
while
at that.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said Germany could only get involved once the guns fall silent. So why is everyone so reluctant to heed
Because no one has a fucking army, and everybody knows they will lose elections.
Cool. Well, for many
Pulling
of
us
the
into
US's
war with the
allies,
retard.
this is simply not their war. They didn't want, need, or start it, and were not consulted before the US-Israeli attack.
Yeah, also no consulting, right? That is ridiculous.
Germany's Merz said NATO is a defensive alliance, not an intervention.
Well said. In Germany, you call him the foreigner, the foreign chancellor, because domestically he's terrible, but to the outside, like the outside world, like how he handles Trump and stuff, he's like doing a good job. He will probably go down history as the foreign politics chancellor.
And that is precisely why NATO has no place here at all.
I just lost one energy again out of nowhere.
Adding, the Americans
Going through your Ironborn Bannerlord VODs. Thanks for all you do at Blood Offering.
Thank you, Davino. We're going to play more battle down the line, but right now I'm addicted to this.
Moreover, they also seem to have a lack of faith in Trump's own strategy. Trump has gone from saying the US has destroyed 100% of Iran's military capability to calling for help in the Strait of Hormuz to saying we do not need the help of anyone.
The number one thing I always feel about Trump is when you play, shut the fuck up right now, when you play total war, right? In total war and you do diplomacy, you have a thing called reputation from 0 to 100. When you break non-aggression pacts, when you just invade friends, your reputation goes to 0 and no one trusts you anymore. You can't make any deals anymore, nothing works anymore. And that is exactly, oh, he lost the war, what Trump has been doing, right? No one can trust anything that man says.
For the US's allies,
chance in hell.
supporting an offensive actor without a plan and whose assessment of the conflict changes day by day isn't very tempting. The second reason is possible domestic backlash. While a number of countries, including the UK, France, Spain, and Greece, have bolstered their military presence in the Eastern Mediterranean to protect Cyprus, deploying naval assets to the Strait of Hormuz, as Trump has requested, would be a significant escalation. It would mean putting their own military personnel at risk, with Iran warning European countries they would become legitimate targets if they joined the war, and could provoke domestic backlash given how unpopular the war against Iran is. 59% of Britons oppose the US's military action against Iran. Only
59. How is there 40%? 4 in 10 are like, hello sir, nice to meet you, how was your day? So what do you think about Trump and the invasion of Iran? I like it. Oh, I think, man, it's quite nice. I like it, it's bloody nice. I like what the fella's doing. They're chuts.
As do 68% of Spaniards, 63% of French, 58% of Germans, 61% of Canadians, and 82% of Japanese.
No one asked
me. The third reason US allies in Europe and Asia are reluctant to support the US in Iran is that it could require diverting resources away from theaters
My interest rate is
Russia
going down.
Remain their primary concerns. Additionally, many are skeptical as to what more a handful of allied ships could achieve than the US Navy. Some also face practical obstacles. For instance, Japan's pacifist constitution places strict limits on overseas military deployment. Finally, we've been talking mostly about European and Asian allies here, but the US's allies in the Persian Gulf, who are in the most precarious position, have been the most impacted. While the UAE, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, etc. have already suffered Iranian drone and missile attacks, things escalated this week after Israel bombed Iranian energy infrastructure
because I pressed a little short-hand button,
prompting Iran to retaliate with a series of attacks on Gulf energy infrastructure, including oil facilities in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, but most notably Qatar's Ras Laffan gas facility, through which 1/5 of the world's supply of LNG flows. One expert described this as an Armageddon scenario, and Qatar said the attack wiped out 17% of the country's LNG capacity and could take up to 5 years for repairs.
It's really interesting how we discuss war and we never talk about casualties, civilian casualties, the girl school getting bombed. That's about 17% of gas, 20% of oil, the gas prices. Like, that's how far we already have gotten, man. But it's always been like that, I guess.
The Gulf states are increasingly concerned about escalation and see the US-Israeli strikes on Iranian energy infrastructure, which they reportedly lobbied hard against, as having put a target on their backs. While a joint statement from 12 Gulf, Arab, and Islamic countries condemned Iran's attacks and reiterated
5 more hours I can start attacking people, don't worry about it.
The Gulf states have still not joined the fight. Like other countries we've discussed, they're wary of being drawn into a war they did not start, and one whose consequences will impact them.
Let's not forget Epstein, though, boys.
One Gulf analyst even said the collapse in trust between the Gulf states and the US was a barrier to joining offensive action, while another said American forces will eventually pack up and leave, but Iran will remain a permanent neighbor of the Gulf.
So that's a good focus, hopefully making some money. The Revolutionary Guard loves me, the priests love me. Military wages go down 10%, okay. We should slowly reach a point where I become kind of unstoppable. After all these hours, it should start happening. Let's start going for a generic infantry designer. Let's go.
Ultimately, the main reason why US allies in Europe, the Gulf and Asia are reluctant to follow Trump into the war is their strong emphasis on de-escalation, yet they see their own direct military involvement as a potentially escalatory act. That de-escalation is in virtually everyone's interest is no surprise. The war is driving up energy prices, particularly in Europe and Asia. Japan, for instance, imports 95% of its oil from the Middle East. It's disrupting fertilizer production, which is concentrated in the region.
Sometimes I was reading this book once, right? The Genius Economy book. And innovation comes from struggle. And sometimes I have this weird, I'm probably very wrong here, but you will hope that if oil becomes too expensive, people will start rethinking themselves. Maybe I should take the bicycle. Maybe I should take the bus. Maybe we should invest more into technology that is electric cars or some shit. Maybe like hoping that it gives a little mini push or something. But that's often how innovation comes, right? From, fuck, we can't afford this anymore. God damn it.
Endangering food security
GDP?
And is even exacerbating a shortage of helium, which is essential in
Free, baby?
semiconductor manufacturing. For Gulf states, the very sectors that keep them functioning are under threat, with attacks on energy, tourist and desalination infrastructure, hence why they're pushing for an end to the conflict as soon as possible.
But it's okay.
As we mentioned earlier, the latest issue of
So what even happened, man? You bombed them a bit and then it's like over. And nothing changed. Like it's this nothing ever happens thing, man.
She slipped through my fingers like sand. Further she had a man. Now I'm just sitting here sad. Oh well, ship sail. She slipped through my fingers like sand.